If you were a parasite, what would be your plan?
Oh, I definitely want to do mind control. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tristan Ortiz. I'm an Evo student.
Hi, I'm Natalie Mastick. I'm a marine ecologist. I have studied a lot of things about fish, but specifically the parasites that infect them, which is kind of weird.
What parasites do infect them and what do they do?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So, the parasites that I study are using fish as like a gateway to get to their host that they're trying to get to, which is a marine mammal, like a whale or a dolphin. And so these parasites, they'll infect do you know what a zooplankton is? It's just kind of like what we call all of the tiniest little things.
The little guys.
The little guys in the ocean. So these parasites infect those guys, and then that guy gets eaten by a bigger guy, and then it gets eaten by a bigger guy, and then it'll get eaten by a seal or a whale or a dolphin. It wants to live its life in the whale or dolphin. That's where it's happiest. But for all of the little guys in between, it's trying to get those eaten. So a lot of those parasites will infect the fish's swimming ability and make them easier to capture.
So pretty much fish zombies?
They haven't completely lost their minds, but some parasites definitely do that.
Okay, cool.
You didn't know you'd be talking about parasites today.
No, I didn't.
Surprise.
It's fun. A little parasite chat. I've heard that you like whales.
Yes, I do love whales.
Do you have a favorite whale?
Yeah, I love minke whales. They are basically the smallest baleen whale, and they are mostly solitary, so they're kind of loners, but sometimes you'll see like big schools of them. I have seen this once in Antarctica. I went to Antarctica.
Oh.
That was kind of cool.
Wow.
And the minke whales down there were in like a huge pod of whales. A cool thing about the whales in Antarctica is they have kind of like an algae that grows on them. They're called diatoms that will grow on the surface of a whale's skin. And depending on the color of the diatom, it can change the color of the whale. So the minke whales down there all looked a little orange, which was weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, so you went to Antarctica. Was that specifically to see them?
It was to study humpback whales.
Okay.
So that's why I was down there. I study bubble nut feeding. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So essentially, a whale will dive below like a school of fish, and they'll spiral up around the fish while blowing bubbles out of their blowhole. And this makes like a column of bubbles that pushes the fish towards the surface, and then they all eat at the surface at the same time. And they do this in groups. So I was studying how whales work together if they adopt different roles, like different members on a team do. It's a form of cooperative foraging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. With your research and stuff like that, how does that correlate to the greater Peabody Museum?
I have been working a lot with students to talk about their science. So one of the things that I really like about being a scientist is being able to share it with other people in an understandable way. I think that's something that people, but especially scientists, have a lot of trouble talking to other people that aren't scientists about it. That's something that I've been doing at the Peabody, is trying to get early career scientists better at talking about their science before they get completely far gone.
So what is your favorite gallery in the museum?
I'm so glad you asked. I have been staring at the frogs in the living lab. I go up there once a day just to look at them and see if I can find all of them. There are 15. I have found 5. My favorite fact that I have learned about frogs. Poison dart frogs are not poisonous in captivity because they get their toxins from insects that they eat in the wild. So if they're in captivity and they're eating fruit flies, those don't have toxins.
Very cool. Can I share a fun frog fact too?
Fun facts.
Do you know of the wood frog?
I've heard of it, but I don't know a lot about it.
It's my favorite frog because it can go 8 months without peeing.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, because urea in its urine acts as an antifreeze. So during the winter time, it can fully physically freeze over with ice chunks.
Whoa.
Because it hasn't peed.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. That's really cool.
that's my fun frog fact of the day.
Fun frog fact.
Yeah, frog moment.